Every day, people say the same thing. I just don't have the time. But that's not the truth. Time isn't your enemy, fear is. The clock hasn't failed you, your hesitation has. So let's talk about that fear. Let's talk about the way it dresses up like busyness, like perfectionism, like waiting for the right moment. What if I told you time is actually on your side, but only when you stop running from what you're meant to do? What if the one thing holding you back has nothing to do with minutes, and everything to do with mindset? But what happens when the ticking clock becomes a mirror? And what do you see staring back? I know what it feels like. Waking up every morning with ideas pounding at the door of your soul. Dreams you've carried for years. Visions so vivid they feel like memories from a future you haven't met yet. But then, life knocks. You hit snooze. You go through the motions. And another day slips away. Another chance gone. Not because you're lazy. Not because you don't care. But because something inside you is whispering, what if I'm not ready yet? And that voice, whose is it, really? Yours? Or someone else's that you've accidentally adopted? But the truth? You've been ready. You've just been scared to start. And time, it's tired of waiting for your permission. So the question becomes, are you ready to stop waiting, too? See, fear is a clever thief. It doesn't break in through the front door. It creeps in through excuses. I'll do it when I have more time. I'll start when I feel confident. Let me just fix this one thing first. Sound familiar? These aren't excuses. They're fear in disguise. And the longer you let it whisper, the louder it becomes. Until your potential becomes a distant echo. But what if your potential could echo back, louder? I remember a time when I had everything mapped out. Deadlines. Checklists. Perfect plans. But nothing moved. Because fear doesn't care how pretty your plans are. It only retreats when you take messy action. Raw, imperfect, real action. The kind that says, I may not be ready, but I'm showing up anyway. What would happen if today was the day you finally showed up messy? That's when time starts to bend in your favor. That's when momentum builds. That's when the fear loses. People often say, time heals. But here's what they don't say, time can also harden. If you keep ignoring your calling, time doesn't just pass, it builds walls. It calcifies regret. And someday, you'll look back and realize the thing you feared wasn't failure. It was the weight of never trying. And that, my friend, is a burden too heavy to carry. Is that the legacy you want to leave behind? So here's a hard question. What are you really afraid of? Is it failing? Being judged? Realizing you're not as good as you imagined? Or worse, realizing you are as powerful as you always believed, and that scares you more than failure ever could? Let that question sit with you. Let it sting a little. Because the truth that burns often clears the path to change. Can you face that fire long enough to forge a better version of you? Here's the twist. You don't need more time. You've had enough. What you need is a decision. A moment where you stand in front of the mirror and say, I'm tired of waiting for the perfect moment. I am the moment. Because that's what separates those who build their dreams from those who bury them. Not talent. Not luck. Just the willingness to begin, imperfectly, urgently, today. So what are you still waiting for, another sign, or is this it? Imagine this. It's 6 months from now. You've shown up every day, not perfectly, but consistently. You've failed, sure. You've been tired. You've doubted yourself. But you kept moving. Now, your ideas aren't just trapped in your head, they live in the world. Your vision has breath. Your goals have momentum. And the person you see in the mirror? They're no longer hiding. They're leading. Creating. Becoming. Could future you be whispering thank you for the courage you chose today? And it all started with one simple moment. 1 second of courage. One decision to act. Because once you start, something incredible happens. Time no longer feels like the enemy. It becomes a partner. A resource. A gift. Every minute starts working for you, not against you. But you've got to be in the game to feel that shift. So what will you build once you join the game? So the next time you hear yourself say, "I don't have time," stop. Breathe. And ask the deeper question, what am I really avoiding? Because underneath every delay is a dream waiting to be freed. You don't need permission. You don't need more time. You need belief. And maybe just a little courage to begin. And what could you become if you dared to believe, just once? Let today be the day you finally start. Not because it's perfect. Not because you're ready. But because your dream deserves a chance to live. So will you answer the call? No more waiting. No more hiding. No more running from your own greatness, because time isn't your problem. Fear is. And you? You're stronger than fear.